Tonight's show is brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Take a taste. Ag Pro. For all your equipment needs, visit Tallahassee Ag Pro. Bricks and Brass. Next door to 4 Points Sheraton downtown. Tallahassee's iconic Round Hotel. Florida Lottery, dedicated to funding the Bright Futures Scholarship Program. Oyster City Brewing Company, the official craft beer of Florida State Athletics. And by People's Gas, delivering natural gas that helps you save energy and earn cash back. Learn more at peoplesgas.com. Now, let's go to Couches in College Town. Alongside FSU head coach Mike Norvell, here's the voice of the Seminoles, Jeff Culhane.
Well, what a way to wrap up that three-game homestand here in the month of October inside of Doak Campbell Stadium by Mike Norvell and his Florida State football team. It was one heck of a game, was it not? Saturday night. And great crowd live from Couches in College Town. Welcome to Inside Seminole Football. Say it with me, everybody. 7-0. There we go, right there. A lot more football out there, I know, but congratulations on the 7-0 start. First time since 2014. My Florida State football team, coach.
Yeah, I'm really proud of our guys. You know, that was a hard-fought game. And, just to start off, I mean, the last three games, man, just hats off to our fan base. I mean, what an unbelievable just sequence of games, 3 straight sellouts, a couple afternoon games, and then, to cap it all off with, Saturday night in Doak Campbell Stadium, and there was nothing like it. And just the energy, the impact that they had on the game, I mean, it was just special all around. And I think our players really fed off that and, played at a high level. And what I love is just how we finished. You get to the fourth quarter, and as I called the guys up like I normally do, I mean, I had a smile on my face. We clapped it up, and I just told them, I said, "This is what you're built for. This is why we train. This is what we put in all the work for. So now just go be you." And they responded with a 21-0 fourth quarter.
It was truly an amazing finish, like you talked about. And you said it many, many times. When you message your players, playing with that edge and response is how you discussed it. 21-0 finish against a team that obviously came in and tremendous talent, and a team that came in with their own edge in that Duke squad Saturday night.
That's a really good football team, and you look at them. Defensively, they were I think averaging only giving up 9 points a game. Offensively, we knew the challenge. I mean, it was the top rushing offense in the ACC, and obviously Riley Leonard played and did a good job throughout. I mean, unfortunately, you got banged up there later in the game, but. That was a team that we knew the firepower they had, and there was momentum swings. There was all things that happened. We had some really good plays. We had a couple of unfortunate plays that went against us, but like I said, it was about the response and our players. Their attitude on the sideline, just the encouragement, the belief. I mean, they really feed off of each other, and it was just a special game to be a part of. And I'm glad we were able to kind of put our stamp on it and showcase to the country what this team's all about.
Yeah, Coach. How about your defense and what they've been doing here over these last 3 games, specifically dating back to game number 2 in ACC play? This group has not given up a score, a touchdown, since the third quarter of the Clemson game back on September the 23rd. That's how locked in they have been. When you talk about responding, that's a big-time example with your defensive group. Yeah,
they're continuing to get better, and I think that you see that confidence that builds throughout every game. Obviously the first drive, we didn't. We had a couple plays. We lost the edge. They were able to get out on us. In that first drive, but you see the way our guys just continue to believe. We got 11 guys playing as one. I thought our forcing unit did a really nice job. Like I said, there was a few plays that got out on the edge, but I thought our defensive backs. I mean, they had some talented receivers and guys that have had a lot of success, up to this point in the season. And I thought our defensive backs were great in the game, just within their coverage, the communication, being able to see a variety of different looks. And, it just, really, built throughout the contest. And we got to that second half and to not give up a point. And it was really a big-time performance.
Got a great show for you tonight here on Inside Seminole Football. Coming up, our player, our student-athlete tonight has quickly grown into a fan favorite with his energy on the defensive side of the football. Braden Fisk will be here, ladies and gentlemen. Big number 55. And a guy that's not afraid to mix it up on special teams as well.
Yeah, that was pretty. So on this week, Braden's been working all season, in kind of in our depth on our kickoff return team. But we had an opportunity to get him in there, and on Deuce's touchdown, he was out there, had a big block on the play, and 10 other guys that all did their job, and that was just such an impactful play. But Braden is just a wonderful young man, and the energy which he brings, he's a great teammate. He's so much fun to coach. He wants to get better, but he's truly a special member of this team, and just so grateful to be able to have him and the impact that he's making.
When you talk about impact and what you guys hear and everyone that makes Doak Campbell Stadium one of the great atmospheres, if not the best, in all of college football, the world of recruiting feels it, and it has felt it over the last 3 weeks. We'll talk with the general manager of personnel. Derek Ray is here tonight to discuss that side of things and how the continued changing world of recruiting you guys stay on top of and do such an amazing job of. And you go back to that with the impact of our fans and how that can help. It all comes together. It all ties together for you, and it makes a huge difference.
Well, and we've had hundreds of recruits that have been here over the last 3 weeks, and with each home game, it's an opportunity to showcase what it is to be a Florida State Seminole. Our great fan base, just the wonderful opportunity and how much it means. For you can go play college football a lot of different places, but it means something here, and it means something to who you are on the field, but who you are off the field to be able to represent this university, and that is felt when these guys come and they get to see and be a part of that type of atmosphere. It's truly special. And, Derek and his staff have done a wonderful job, in the last few years. And then, obviously we're excited about what we're doing in recruiting now as we're continuing to build, the team of the future of what that's going to be. And once again, it's all going back to finding the right fit. And that's what we've put a huge emphasis on. And, Derek and his staff are just remarkable.
Yeah. So I'll have Braden and Derek on a little bit later on in the program tonight. Hey, time now for our Truist hero of the game. Truist, the official retail bank of Florida State Athletics. Care, it's a total bank changer. See how at Truist.com. We're going to keep it with special teams, Coach. And how about you talk about response? Deuce Spann is our Truist hero of the game. His 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown was the response needed for Mike Norvell's Noles after Duke went ahead 17-7 in the second quarter. Spann at a Lakewood High in St. Petersburg, also named ACC Special Teams Player of the Week. The second straight week the Noles have won that honor. We've hit on that a little bit, but, man, I don't know if we can talk about it enough. When you need the momentum back, special teams, that third phase, has been there for you and was again on Saturday night.
No, it was huge. And, we've started to see the impacts, in all phases of our special teams units. We've seen growth. We've seen improvement. A week ago, it was our punt return unit. And for to be able to have Keon get the big return. And then, in that, it's just really the timing of it, too. Nobody wants to have a pick six that we give up. And it was a, tip pass and things that all happen. But ultimately, you have that momentum swing. But you have to go out there and you got to respond. And, we told the group on the mat, we've been talking about it all week. Coach JP did a wonderful job putting together a plan, and we knew if we got the right opportunity, we would have a chance to make a game-changing play. And boy, did they! It was, and when Deuce hit the seam, I knew there was that nobody was going to catch him. And Hakeem Williams tried, but I tell you, it was impressive to see those guys and just all the blocking, everybody that just went in and did an unbelievable job to give them that opportunity. And there was no catching them.
There was not. I think I popped a vocal cord, I think, on that one, Coach.
You got it back.
We got it back. Thank goodness. They heal quickly. That's for sure. Hey, we're having fun. We're just getting started. Mike Norvell's Noles are 7-0, ladies and gentlemen. Number 4 in the country and 5-0 in the ACC. Hey, we're here live from Couche's in College Town. Come enjoy good food, good folks, and good times at Couche's, Bayou Rouge. Couche's offers authentic South Louisiana cuisine and some of the best burgers and wings in town. Coming out to Couche's in College Town, the home of Inside Seminole football. Just getting going. We'll continue to get Coach's reaction and thoughts from the win against Duke and continuing on an ACC play at Wake Forest coming up on Saturday afternoon.
Welcome Welcome back to Inside Seminole Football with the head coach, Mike Norvell. Now back to Couches in Collegetown. Here again, Jeff Culhane.
Back in, Couches here in Collegetown. A 38-20 win by Mike Norvell's Florida State football team. 7-0, 5-0. Shutting out Duke in the second half and outscoring the Blue Devils 21-0 in the final 15 minutes of that game. You talk about finishing. That's how you finish right there in a big-time way. And speaking of finishing, we got some great things coming up this week as our fall sports calendar at Florida State kind of heading towards the end of that regular season, towards postseason play. It's amazing to think that. It's What's on Tap. Brought to you by the official craft beer of Florida State Athletics, Oyster City Brewing Company. Check out the tap room on Gain Street and the newly released Legacy Lager. It's senior night and the final match of the regular season for Brian Penske and the #1 ranked Florida State soccer team, NC State, Thursday night. And with a win yesterday, 4-0 over Duke, they have clinched a share of the ACC regular season conference title and can win it outright with a win on Thursday night. I know you're a big fan of that crew, Coach.
No, absolutely. Just what a wonderful team. I mean, the way they play together, the way that they respond throughout games. I mean, it's been fun watching them, and they're just getting started.
Yes, they are. That is for sure. So soccer Thursday night, chance to win an ACC regular season crown outright. Florida State women's basketball, that's right. Hoops is around the corner. It's here. Thursday night exhibition at the Tucker Center at 6 p.m. What an opportunity. Friday night at 7 p.m. for Chris Poole and Florida State volleyball. They are in a three-way tie for first place in the ACC right now at 9-1, and they're at number 5 Louisville. And one final item, the Florida State men's and women's cross-country squads are hosting the ACC cross-country championships here in Tallahassee on Friday. So there's a lot happening there, a lot happening with your football team right now, getting it going. Your quarterback has a lot of great things going on as well in Jordan Travis. That second half, his leadership, his heart. We talked in the postgame. I know nothing surprises you about what he's capable of and what he can do. But, man, it just felt like he willed a lot of things in that game with this play on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he played at such a high level. And, you need that to happen. Obviously 2 top 20 teams in the country. You're going at it. I mean, back and forth. There's a 4th-ranked defense in the country that we knew there was going to be some challenges that they would present. But, Jordan really took the game over. And, to look at how he distributed the football, they had a good plan. They were really working to try to take away, certain guys and, do a good job of keeping everything in front. The way that he was able to work the ball to the tight ends, to the running backs, being able to spread the ball around, utilized his legs, as a runner, just really kept them off balance. I think you look at the sequence and going into I guess it was late into the third quarter where, going into the fourth where we got the stop, the 4th down stop defensively there at the 5-yard line. Our guys have been remarkable down in the red zone, be able to get that stop. And then for us to be able to go whatever it was, 95 yards, going back the other way. That drive was just one of those, those trademark drives that you want to see. And, Jordan was impactful in all ways, arms, legs, just great decision making. And it was big to see him finish off with that touchdown.
Yeah, 14-play, 96-yard drive, took 6:18 off the clock. Longest drive of the season for your offense to go ahead and take the lead early in the fourth quarter, I should say.
Yeah, and that's a big time moment. To be able to late in the game, through the air and also they're on the ground, and it was just to see our guys be able to efficiently execute and to be able to do that in that moment was just was outstanding as a coach. I mean, that's what you love to see.
Yeah, on that drive, Travis ran for 40 yards himself on that drive to help really get the running game opened up against that stingy Duke defense. And on the touchdown run, another career mark surpassed by your guy Jordan Travis, Coach, able to pass the great Chris Wanke on the all-time total offense charts here at Florida State University. 9,548 yards all-time in the Garnet and Gold. And obviously he's going to add quite a bit to that here down the stretch.
Yeah, well, I mean, for all the great players, and it was funny. I was texting with Chris not too long ago. When Jordan passed him in the overall touchdowns responsible for, and when you look at the quality of the individuals, the guys that have come before, the guys that have set so many records. Obviously, it's always probably bittersweet when your record's broken, but on one part of it, it's who's getting to do it, and Jordan Jordan Travis represents all things that are good about Florida State, who he is as a player, who he is as a young man, the respect that he shows to the past players and the guys that have come before him, and, you know, really how he passes off, you know, credit to everybody that's around him. And that's what makes him special. So, you know, we're always you know, celebrate our guys for the achievements that they've made. And, you know, Jordan Travis will be you know, forever known as one of the great you know, Seminoles that have come through, and you know, really proud of him because of the journey.
Yeah, JT tied a career high as well, 27 completions, 27 of 36, 268. You talk about distributing the football. His 2 touchdown passes were to running backs in the game, completed passes to 9 different receivers, and Shaheem Bell had a career night with 8 receptions in that game as well. Also a huge part of your screen game, the way he blocked down the field and made some big-time things happen.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that you know, we try to emphasize as a team is, like, you know, what are you doing? You know, you get 8 catches, and that's great, and it's wonderful. And he impacted the game, did a lot of wonderful things. But, you know, one of my favorite plays that he had was, you know, leading Jordan into the end zone. And I think he actually told him, "Here, come on, follow me on it." But to see him and the physicality and the toughness, and then the celebration. Yeah. You know, to see that joy for another teammate scoring, and that you get to make your mark. You know, without having the ball in your hands, and that happened a lot. Whether it's offensive line, you know, receivers, tight ends, you know, on Keziah Holmes, you know, pass there, his screen pass there on the side. I mean, you watch Keon, you watch Johnny, you watch those guys down the field. You know, LT was out there on that block, and I mean, that's what makes a team. And you know, everybody wants to get theirs. You know, everybody wants the ball, but when you see guys that are unselfish and have so much joy when teammates are having success, and you can be a part of that, I mean, it's a great sight to see.
Yeah, it really was. 38-20 win for the Florida State Seminoles over the Duke Blue Devils. That's the largest margin of victory by any team against the Duke squad, head coached by Mike Elko over the last 2 years. 38 points as well. Ties a game high allowed by that stingy defense from Duke, and that was from this Florida State offense this weekend. Hey, visit Seminoles.com/FFBI sweeps and register for the chance to win a VIP experience to the sold-out Miami game. Winner gets hotel accommodations, 4 tickets to the game, 4 hospitality passes, and Knowles gear. Register today at Seminoles.com/FFBI sweeps. Coming up next, we'll talk about the defense's great effort and what they've been doing so well in these second halves of games. It's been phenomenal. That and more on the way as you're watching Inside Seminole Football on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm John Davis, Secretary.
And you're tuned in to Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell, live from Couches in Collegetown. Here's your host, Jeff Colhane.
I roll along on a Monday night, having a great time with our great friends live at Couches in Collegetown. 7-0, 5-0 in the ACC. And the next one coming up back on the road after an amazing 3-game homestand here in October. Wake Forest, the opponent. That's a noon Eastern kick. And it's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, with the Noles and the Demon Deacons. With Coach's thoughts on that coming up here in a moment. How about a couple of Chick-fil-A stat nuggets to start off this segment? The Florida State offense has scored 30 points or more in 13 straight games. That's the longest streak in all of college football and second longest in ACC history, behind the 17-game streak the Noles had between 2012 and 2014. And the Florida State defense leads the ACC in scoring defense in the month of October, allowing just 13.3 points per game. And as we mentioned earlier, has not allowed a point on defense in the second half, dating back to the third quarter of the Clemson game on September the 23rd. Two items there that are extremely impressive, both sides of the ball. But again, your defense response, finish, the way they've been asked to go out and do it, when they've been pressed, they've come back and fought back and punched back in a big way.
No, absolutely. And I think when you look at the game the other day, you know, really take out the opening drive. I mean, they were remarkable, and you know, just kind of settled in. I think, you know, there was a lot of excitement, a lot of build up, and you know, obviously some things that we had to kind of work through. But to see our guys go and just respond, you know, basically gave up 10 points in the game. You know, we had the fourth down conversion that we were not able to get. Gave them a short field, but they came out, got an immediate stop, forced them to a field goal, and then, you know, just really really was dominant throughout the course of the rest of the contest. And just proud of our defense. Coach Fuller's done a remarkable job. Defensive staff, the confidence that our guys are playing with, the way that we're able to utilize multiple personnel groupings. Different guys are able to get in there and make an impact. Guys are staying fresh. Guys are playing fast, and that's something that you always want to see, because that's going to help us as we continue to move down the road.
Only 53 rushing yards allowed in the final 30 minutes total from your defense against that rushing attack. How'd that execution ratchet up for you, it felt like, in the final 30?
No, it's good. And I mean, like I said, there were a couple things that happened early in the game where we just lost the edge of the defense. And when they got out on the perimeter, some of those were some questionable
sure.
hand placement by our opponent. But it's things that you got to be able to react and respond to. And I thought our guys did a good job in fighting and battling. Really was disruptive. Created some explosive plays. Defensively, and that's where it was great to see Shaheem Brown, who has been on the show, be able to get his first career interception, just to see our guys playing fast. And, we've got a great group, and, I think they're really about to take another step for where we can get to.
We'll talk with Brady coming up in a couple segments, but great to see Fabian Lovett as disruptive as he's ever been. 2 TFLs. It felt like almost on back-to-back plays, it seemed like, for him.
No, it was, and I thought Fabian played his best game. Obviously Braden was so impactful in the game, like we talked about earlier. You see that that progression, that growth. Josh Farmer has been dynamic for us this year. You kind of get in that Malcolm Ray, Dennis Briggs, all those guys have just been wonderful there on the inside, but they're able to play with and kind of off of each other as they're going through a game, and so they're staying fresh. They're able to chase the ball, and then obviously when they get their opportunities, trying to go and make that type of impact.
Yeah, absolutely. Wake Forest, the opponent, coming up next Saturday afternoon. This coming Saturday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, on the road, taking on the Demon Deacons in ACC play. We'll talk with Coach and break that matchup down when we come back, as you're watching Inside Seminole Football on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield.
The pros.
Well, the 3-game homestand in October was a lot of fun, to say the least. There's no question about that. An amazing atmosphere at Bobby Bowden Field inside of Doak Campbell Stadium. Well, Mike Norvell's Noles back on the road for a couple back-to-back. It starts with Wake Forest on Saturday afternoon. That's a noon Eastern kick on ABC. Marks the 6th straight broadcast and 7th time this year that the Noles are on that platform, averaging nearly 5 million viewers per game, Coach, which is absolutely big-time stuff. It's time as well for our Keys to Success this week, brought to you by Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of Florida State Athletics. Scott & Wallace with offices in Tallahassee. Your first thoughts on the challenge on Saturday with the Demon Deacons going to their place?
We've got to win the ball, and that's our focus is being able to get the ball, try to create takeaways, be disruptive. I mean, this is an offense that's very unique in what they do. They get the slow mesh, a lot of the run pass option. This is a team that Coach Clausen got a ton of respect for, and how he runs and manages a program, but also what they do schematically. Is built to attack, and even though it's a different presentation, they're offensively. I mean, we've got to try to make them uncomfortable and try to create more possessions for our offense. For them defensively, I mean, it's all built on the ball, and you see them almost every play. They're going to claw, they're going to rake, they're going to punch at the ball. So we've got to do a good job against them of making sure that we're maximizing each possession. We want to, we obviously want to be explosive. We want to be balanced. We want to take what they're giving us, in the sense. But it's going to come down to that, and then just like each week, the cash down, the conversion downs. Something that you really hurt us a year ago against them. They're defensively, and then offensively, we got to make sure we're extending drives and being able to finish off those drives when we get in the red zone.
Where do you feel like the slow mesh? No, it doesn't. I don't know if anybody else does it like they do. Where does that challenge? Who does it challenge the most?
I mean, I think it challenges gap integrity. It's the amount of time that it takes, and everybody's got a gap. You're fitting a gap, and ultimately with the time that continues on, if you get distracted, by the timing, the patience, obviously all things. I mean, they're reading safety, they're reading third level defenders of who's coming in to be able to fit the box, and if you get out of your gap, they're going to make you pay, and they're very efficient in what they do. It's a very experienced team. I mean, they've got multiple guys that have been there. I know there's 5, 6, and I think they even got the left tackle. I think has been there for 7 years. So I mean, it's they've got guys that have been in the system for a long time. Defensively, you look at them and they got 2 of the better safeties in our conference that we're going to go against, and it's going to be a matchup where we've got to have a great week of preparation. Our guys understand that. Thought we came out yesterday with a really good mindset and approach, and tomorrow in practice, we've got to be better than we've ever been, because that's the expectation. And all due respect to our opponents, I've said this multiple times throughout this year, it's not about them. It's about us and the way that we show up, the way that we go and attack our work. And as we keep getting better, if we will have that as our intent and purpose, then I've got a lot of confidence in what this team can do.
Yeah, it's amazing that we've been doing this show nearly 2 seasons now, Coach. I feel like almost every week I'm asking you about multiple quarterbacks from the opposition, and you just mentioned it's about what you guys do overall. Does anything change with their approach depending on who's back there as the signal caller?
No, I mean, and obviously we're gonna prepare for the starter. I mean, he was day to day. I mean, I told you last week. I mean, we're expected for Riley to play, and he did. And ultimately, you have a plan if those things ever change, of what you're going to do and what that needs to look like. But we're gonna plan with all things moving forward with the starter going to play, and if not, then we'll adapt and adjust if need be. But obviously they had a big win. They're at home against Pitt last week. Came down to a final play, and the guy that was their third string quarterback let them down in a 2-minute drive, and made a play that was necessary to go win the game. So I mean, they're very capable. Obviously got some confidence of coming off that win, and defense has been playing at a high level. So we got to go and just play Florida State football and continue to get better.
Yep. Guys, didn't he look good in turquoise Saturday night?
We're back to the fashion. I mean,
I couldn't let it get by without our last week. It was good. You had the hoodie with the all black.
I'm glad you noticed.
I was locked in. I was noticing, big guy. I got you. There it is. We're going to shut it down right there. Coach, congratulations on a great win. And have a great week. Thanks so much for your time.
I appreciate everybody coming out. Look forward to seeing you back home here in a couple weeks. And go Noles.
The head coach, Mike Norvell, ladies and gentlemen, 7-0, 5-0 in the ACC. Hey, get free local news and weather 24/7. Just search WTXL on your favorite streaming device and to watch local news and weather on your time. Braden Fisk up next. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. You're watching on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network. Just like over the last 3 home games and every home game here this season, we got a packed house here in Cougars in College Town. Having a great time with our friends down in the Garnet and Gold. This team playing great football right now at 7-0, 5-0 in the ACC. Can we get a big, big round of applause? Mr. Braden Fisk with us, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there we go. He's been having one heck of a year and extremely excited to have him with us tonight and in the Garnet and Gold this season. All of our conversations with Florida State student athletes presented by the Battle's End. And by joining the Battle's End, you directly support FSU student athletes. Get involved today at thebattlesend.com. It's great to see you. Thanks so much for the time. What's this year been like so far?
Nothing short of amazing, but just like I told you before, I mean, considering where I was just a year ago and now sitting here in front of all these people in Tallahassee, Florida, I mean, yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's hard to even describe, what a blessing it's been, to be a part of this university and this team being 7-0 right now. I mean, I couldn't have even dreamed of this. So no, it's been great.
Yeah, life is good. Talk about getting here and your process of arriving. I know you've talked about it many times, but do it with us again tonight. Obviously, Coach Norvell, Coach Hagens, the crew that have connected with you and brought you in, how those guys have impacted you as a player and as a person here this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's been huge. I mean, the people you just named, Coach Norvell, Coach Hagens, I mean, they were huge in the process of getting me here. Coach Norvell was really the first head coach that, face-to-face FaceTimed me, like reached out, introduced who he was and who Florida State was. And, yeah, I mean, just the impact they made on me has been huge. And I was just hoping I could reciprocate the energy and give it back to Florida State myself.
You definitely have. There's no question about that. It's been fun watching you go out there and play and do it play in and play out. Just got to talk about that energy, the focus you have and what you want to put into every rep, every play when you get your chance, when you go out there and get between the white lines.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I've really relied on my whole career, is being an effort guy, being a hustle guy. I mean, I am big, but in comparison to some guys, I'm not always like the biggest guy in the field. So, getting to the ball, effort, just making plays that defensive linemen normally don't make is something I pride myself on, and just trying to make an impact in other ways besides just football. Being a leader in the locker room, being a leader in the film room, whatever it may be. Being an example to young guys and just showing them the ropes of how I've done it or how I've seen other guys do it in the past, and it's helped me in my career, and I can only hope I can help them, and really make an impact on both sides.
Yep. Braden, this defense as an entire group, I mean, you guys have played at a high level. We just mentioned some stats earlier. Top scoring defense in the month of October in the ACC, allowing just 13.3 points per game. And you guys haven't given up any points defensively in the second half of games, all the way back to the Clemson game. How has this group continued to grow together and lock it in and execute at a high level?
Yeah, I think you just said it. I mean, like, each week we've gotten better. Each week we've grown together. Just the way we practice with intent, and I mean, it's always to get better, always to improve on the little things, the little details, the fundamentals of how we go about defense. And I think our performance has been great, and I think we get a little slack for it, but I think we've proven ourselves in second half of games. We just got to show up better in the first, and we put together complete games, which I still think we have yet to do. So that's the most exciting part about going forward is what we're going to be able to do. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. I
think one of the cool things I saw Saturday night, and we talked with Coach about it earlier. You are on kickoff return with Deuce Span's 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, and you completely engage with somebody that's coming down and wash him out of the play and almost meet Deuce in the end zone. You're running so fast down that far sideline.
That was more based on excitement. I saw him going. I was like, oh man, I got to get down there. But no, that was. I've been a reserve most of the time, like waiting to get my opportunity. I mean, it was just a situation, the game plan for the week, and I was glad. The first play we ran it, I whiffed on the guy, fell. I was like, I run into the sideline. I'm like, man, I really hope we run that again. I need another opportunity to show that I can make that block. And sure enough, the big moment came, and made the block, and Deuce is gone, 99, and to the house.
Wow, yeah, that was a lot of fun to see you guys in the celebration afterwards. Yeah, anything better than that?
No, I can't think get better than that. Doak's rocking, it was awesome. Under the lights, it doesn't get better.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, talk to me about this week. Back on the road, you're playing a Wake Forest team. They use kind of that slow mesh, unique look defensively, challenges. Coach talked about gap integrity overall. I know you got a big week of practice here coming up, getting ready for another big game.
Yeah, and I think the big message of our defense is just keep getting better. Focus on us. We're not worried about the team across from us, the logo, the record, whatever it may be. We just got to focus on us, and we'll be good. We play attack style football and get after the ball, and I think just building off what we've done the last 7 games and, taking to week 8.
Well, I tell you what, you have been one heck of a fun guy to watch here in this season, here in the Garden and Gold. Braden, thanks so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Thanks so much for on the show. Give it Braden Fisk, ladies and gentlemen. How much fun has it been to watch number 55 fly around out there and make a ton of plays? Hey, as a veteran-owned business, Carver's Discount Cleaners provides high-quality dry cleaning services at affordable prices. Visit one of the 3 Tallahassee locations for convenient same-day services. Don't get taken to the cleaners. Choose Carver's, the proud dry cleaning partner of Inside Seminole Football. Coming up next, we talk about the way a roster is constructed, the world of recruiting, the general manager of personnel at Florida State. Derek Ray stops by the show when we come back, as you're watching on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield.
Done.
Seminole football, live from Couches in Collegetown. Now, here again, Jeff Culhane.
All right, roll along. And, man, I'm excited. Always great to talk with our next guest on the program because his role, his staff's role, is so integral into the success of Florida State football and the current setup, the future setup. It's so impactful, and we're going to hear from Derek Ray coming up momentarily. Hey, in town for a game this fall, stay at 4 Points by Sheridan Tallahassee downtown, located in an iconic round building across from the Florida State University campus. Parking always complimentary, plus free shuttle service to the airport and Doak Campbell Stadium. Make your hotel reservations at 4 Points by Sheridan Tallahassee downtown today. Great to be joined by the general manager of personnel for Florida State football. Give it up for Derek Ray, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see you, sir, as always.
Great to see you, Jeff.
Yeah, how are you doing? And, man, 3 straight home games. You guys were pretty darn busy here.
Yeah.
You're never not busy, but that's always a lot going on.
Different stages of business, but, just overall, the Knoll family brought it with the atmosphere and consistently for 3 straight home games, 3 straight sellouts. To be in an atmosphere like that, especially the last Saturday, I got chills just walking out. It was something special to be a part of.
Yeah. How many, from a number standpoint, Coach said in the hundreds of recruits that you guys have had here the last 3 weekends combined overall?
Yeah, just last Saturday specifically, we had 104 on campus.
Wow.
And so it was a big group that we had, and there was a lot of talent in that group. It was special for them to be able to be there to witness, and I was excited obviously about the result, but the atmosphere, and that sells itself, right? And just the Knoll family showing up and showing out, and there's nothing like Doak at dark at all.
Yeah. Where do you even begin with planning something like that? I mean, I think all of us out there hear that number and we're like, oh my goodness. Like we try to host 10 people for dinner, we can't figure it out at the house, right? And your staff is obviously so great at what they do.
Yeah, you're only as good as the people you have that you work with every single day. And Maddie McCormick, who's our director of recruiting operations, and her staff between Haley Carter and Jenna Kinker, and the unsung heroes really around. We have 60 student interns who give up their game day on Saturday to take part of that student experience, right? Just to volunteer their time to make sure we're selling Florida State in the best possible light. And so the sacrifice that they're making to make sure they're making an impact, it all matters. And that gives us the ability to host all those families and all those individuals, all those prospective student athletes to make sure their experience at Florida State is excellent.
Yep. What is and what has been, I guess, what's the feedback you're looking for from experiences? I mean, when you're checking your boxes with how you host and how you're trying to connect with prospective student athletes when they're here, kind of give me the goal overall with what you want to hear when it's all said and done.
You want them to take part of game day, right? And pay attention to warm-ups and the coaching points that are going into things, because the time they're going to get with their actual coaching staff is very, very small. But the amount of what we can build into it and showcase and really evoke that emotion to be a part of it, what it's like there, walking out of the tunnel in Doak and the atmosphere that's around, taking part in the band and the tradition that it's offered, that's what you're trying to recreate and showcase. And, last Saturday was a perfect example of why you want to play here.
Yeah. Because
of how special a place this is.
Yeah. And I would think everything from, what goes on around town in Tallahassee, around the legacy walk, making sure fans are connecting right when the team gets to the stadium, right? And then I'm sure you've got a lot of young men and families that are being greeted by fans while they're here in town on official visits and unofficial visits as well.
Yeah, and our fans do an outstanding job of just even being able to recognize people that are a part of it. But I'm walking out to the legacy walk, I looked around, I was like, ooh, this one feels different. There's a lot more people than there normally was, which was awesome for our team to have.
Yeah, absolutely. He's Derek Ray, ladies and gentlemen, the general manager of personnel for Florida State football. Glad to have him here with us for a couple of segments live from Couches in College Town. As Florida State Athletics would like to thank Grassroots Coffee for their support of Florida State football. Order from Grassroots Coffee for your home or business today at grassrootscoffee.com or find it at a store, restaurant, or coffee shop near you. Grassroots Coffee, made for everyone, loved everywhere. We'll take a time out. One more segment with Derek Ray when we come back, because you're watching Inside Seminole Football on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to Inside Seminole Football with the head coach, Mike Norvell. Now back to Couches in College Town. Here again, Jeff Culhane.
All right, having fun as always. Monday night live from Couches in College Town. Packed house, enjoying it. And why would we not? Because the Florida State Seminoles are 7-0, ladies and gentlemen. And 5-0 in the ACC following a 38-20 win over the Duke Blue Devils Saturday night. Wake Forest on the road Saturday, back on ABC. It's a noon Eastern kick. Derek Ray, general manager of personnel. That obviously is massive. Those eyeballs, the opportunity. It's the 6th straight game we played on ABC, one of the biggest platforms you can. I'm sure that kind of factors in a little bit, I would think, in certain respects for what you guys are trying to do.
Absolutely. Just, and that's why you come to Florida State, and that's part of it, right? The tradition and the storiness of this program, but the ability to play every single game on national TV, and you look around, and I mean, you're on ABC, it feels like every single weekend. It's been every game since one, except one, and, that's what you want. Right, you want every single eyeball on you. You want that, and so that does help us talk about the program and the stage that you have the opportunity to be on, to be part of the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you know that reading one text while driving takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds? At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving the length of a football field with your eyes closed. Put your phone down and set aside all distractions. Don't drive distracted. Arrive alive. Brought to you by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. We've talked fan support. But talk about the support from within, from the great administration here at Florida State University, Michael Alford, everybody within administration as well. Andrea Adelson and David Hale read a great piece on Coach Norvell and Florida State football and talked about so many things that you're connected with certainly as well. How have you seen it develop during your time here over the last couple of seasons with what you guys need and everything you need, you're trying to go out and grab, I know. Overall.
Yeah, we don't really want for anything here, and we're at a place that is, we're the haves. And, between Mr. Alford and President McCullough, making sure that we can compete with the very best. And, right, you're surrounded in the football mecca. There are so many elite programs around here, so you have to stay on that competitive edge and the slight edge. And there's nothing that we don't have. And that's important in the process, from resources, the ability to develop our student athletes, right, whether it's socially, athletically, academically, in all facets of the game, so they can be better young men once that football career is over, whether it's for 4 more years or 20 more years, whatever it may be. But the constant investment back into the program, and you look around the 2 major projects between our football-only facility that's on the way, as well as the remodel of Doak. There's millions and millions of dollars that are going into the program to make sure there's a better experience, not only for our fans, our student athletes, but the overall experience of a Florida State student and supporter as well. Yeah,
Derek, the conversation piece, you guys have done an amazing job in the transfer portal. We had Braden Fisk on, obviously, tonight, but high school football recruiting is a lifeblood, I know. For every program, and is very, very important to you. Kind of talk about that management aspect of it from your perspective, what you're looking for from both sides.
Yeah, and really it's best fit.
Yeah.
Right, it's not just, hey, the narrative out there, the transfer portal, right? But how can we find the best fit and the best player for Florida State? I don't care if it's from the junior college ranks, from the transfer portal, or high school recruiting, but the best overall fit in that person. Do they fit talent-wise, but also do they fit as a character, as an individual on campus at the university, as well in Tallahassee? Because all matter. And so if you get all 3, that's how you can cook with really gas.
Yeah. Name, image, and likeness. It is a significant aspect of what's going on right now in this era of college athletics, and collectives at Florida State have been very important to all programs, but certainly to Florida State football as well.
Yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention just the Battle's End and how integral really they are in the support. And you point to them for the ability to not only retain the roster, but give our student athletes the opportunity, to have those in name, image, and likeness. We wouldn't be in this situation if it wasn't for them. So if there are any doubts or anyone's out there, please, I'd encourage you to join membership with the Battle's End, because we would not be in this position if it wasn't for them.
Yeah, it's the support has been tremendous, I know, in so many ways. Always great talking to you, and wow, this has been a lot of fun, hasn't it?
Oh, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Just getting started, though.
That's right. Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Jeff.
That's Derek Ray, ladies and gentlemen. He's a key piece of the success of Florida State football, the general manager of personnel. Hey, calling all hungry Noles fans every Friday this fall. Football Fridays at Tijuana Flats. Get a free taco and chips with the purchase of a medium drink every Friday by wearing your Noles gear at participating Tijuana Flats locations across the state of Florida. Visit TijuanaFlats.com for locations and details. Well, another fun night. Hope you all had a great time as well. We enjoyed having you out here for Inside Seminole Football. We'll talk to you Saturday afternoon from a Legacy Stadium in Winston-Salem. Florida State and